battle there. 16-14 is Navi to come out on top. We go to Dust 2, Guardian's Playground. He was pretty quiet. He wasn't bad, but we don't expect him to be that quiet in 7 times. So we are going to be going into Dust 2 here.
It's actually a really good point, because Guardian normally, when he does have one quiet game, he has this weird wave in the second game just going twice as good, just stepping it up and elevating himself. Whether it's just some sort of self-criticism, reflection between maps, he has a tendency to do that, so you got to watch him.
Well, we are going into the second map, ladies and gentlemen. Will be Dust 2. Let's make some noise. Let's get the hype back in the room. Astralis on the CT side, Navi on the T. We can see 4 sets of armor for the CT side. No aggression just yet. They will be boosting up towards short. Actually, Dupree will be going in and actually maybe facing towards the top of middle with KGB, but sees to open things up. Headshot, then the body to finish it off, and they have got the man advantage. Will be swarming towards the catwalk area.
He's desperate to get away from this. Does manage to drop back down into CT. He had the decoy. He was trying to use it as a flash. Didn't elect to do so, but just to be sure he wasn't going to be pushed, he considered the option. Nonetheless, they are wrapping around. They are coming out from catwalk. It's going to be a long fight, a distance battle with Dupree. But so far, he's actually done decent damage. Guardian and Flamey go low. It's good enough for Kerrigan to close it out, but they've lost one in turn, and Flamey's going to get Zipix down toward the KD position. Kerrigan, this is a good and swift rotation from him.
Yeah, 2 players now coming in from short. It's going to be Kerrigan. Device. Kerrigan with another one. He's finally shut down by Edward. Now it's all up to Device. What can he do here? Needs to find a kill very quickly. Hasn't got a kit here, but he has got body armor, and the USP needs to land the headshot right now.
And I think he did spot Edward going back over, because he had the information, but Edward's crossed back. They want to peek him together. They want to make this a 2-on-1. No chance for Device to isolate them, and it works out perfectly for them.
Very fast play there from Navi. You can see Astralis, pretty standard play from them, boosting up towards short, trying to get that first bit of intel and potentially challenge a frag as well. It's actually Dupree got his head ripped off the kick around off there, but Navi coming out on top in the 2-on-1 situation. Actually very well played towards the end. They could feel there was an opportunity for the CTs to bounce back there, but facing together and locking him down quickly. Very efficient stuff indeed, but looking like Astralis will be forcing into this week. I've got Kerrigan on the scout and body armor. Yep. The rest of his team actually not joining him on this one. Device does get tagged through the door.
There you go. Guardian already through mid. You got to watch it. Kerrigan got 3 kills. That's why he elects to do this, because it built up the bank for him slightly. Buys down to $100 left in his wallet, but Device and Dupree are only at 5, so they are pretty even in this. They'll save the next if this doesn't work out, but there it is. The scout loses. Guardian with a second shot through the door, able to pick him off, and it's a flurry of frags that immediately follow for Navi as they take over long.
Yeah, lovely stuff from them, sticking together, full on control and finding the frags as well. Guardian opening things up with the scout, and Device now, the last player remaining. He's stuck in the B bomb site with the Desert Eagle. 60 HP this round is certainly going in favor of Navi, but it's not a single frag found from Astralis. So although they didn't fully invest into it, Kerrigan did go for the scout and armor combo. The rest of his teammates still have a bit of cash here. It'll be interesting to see what kind of approach we see from Astralis. Outfit, actually, we saw them going back to their classic setup with KGB on the AWP towards that car. In recent times before that event, they've actually mixed it up and actually eradicated that. And Device was actually being more mobile with the AWP, so I'm very intrigued to see where they go with this.
I think part of that was because, if you remember, and I may have been Katowice. Either way, there was an event, one of the first ones they did, where they did swap it around and put both Device and Dupree onto the A site. The problem was that once people figured out that their B site was significantly weaker and that Kerrigan and Zipix didn't really have a feel for how to play that, how to rotate out of middle correctly, it became weak. So what they did is actually, it was one of the only times they've done it, divided Device and Dupree, put Device with that AWP like you're saying, but they've still been flirting with these ideas on how they want to approach it.
Decent nade coming in towards the long doors there. Takes C's down to 47 HP. They've smoked off the corner, so taking that vision away from the counter-terrorists. And you can see now Navi not wasting any time here, straight up towards Campbell. Going to be using the rifles very effectively as Flamey takes down Zipex to open up the A bomb side. The bomb will be going down for sure any second now.
Flamey, though, does continue forward with that. AK is going to find KGB, so not much he can do from distance. Good pick at least onto Edward, so that's 1 gun dropped for whatever value that is to them. Everything counts. So Flamey's going to go hunting for the last 2 players, both Dupree and Device, with 5.7s.
Well, they managed to get a couple of kills.
P250s.
It all works. We know what you meant. Yeah, a couple of kills obtained for Astralis there. Device on low HP. He's actually found both of the kills, so he's going to be hiding out towards the B bomb site. Does get taken down eventually by Seized. And Dupree remains now camping towards long and hoping he can find his kill on towards Flame. He might actually be able to do this. There it is. Lovely stuff from him. Actually gets an AK as well. That helps boost the economy going to the next one. Guardian with the scout. Interesting to see whether he takes that into the next. There it is, the bomb does explode, and Navi with a very fast player towards shore. Found those frags, got the bomb down. The 3 kills obtained for Astralis, not bad at all, considering they only really took P250s into this round, or now purchased for KGB. So I think that answers our question as to where we're going with this one. It is going to be the classic Astralis style here.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point. This is likely technical.
Yes.
For whatever reason, Zipix has initiated it.
Headset.
And headset on still, but nonetheless, they are having an admin behind him right now. So something's going on. I think actually he may have called it for somebody else because the admins are moving down the line toward device.
I'm sure it's something like a TeamSpeak issue. There's never normally any major technical faults here. And we're looking like we're getting back into this already.
Seems quick enough.
We'll have a look at the buy coming in. Guardian has upgraded his scouts to that AWP. Of course, that's definitely the right decision considering the CTs will be bringing a double up setup here at Matt. So actually, going straight into it. Normally most teams will wait until the mid stages of the first half or the second half.
ACD on top, baby. Tau on top, baby.
What does that mean?
It's a shout out to my tribes, bros. Don't worry about it, Henry.
I'm not worrying about it. Let's never talk about it again.
All right. Guardian not going to get the jump shot this time. That means they do cross into be 2 players, and it is going to be Device and Kerrigan, so they've swapped this long position again. Cajun with that AWP's rotating late at that corner smoke, but what this does is it pulls so many players away from the mid position. 3 players looked along with that single smoke, and it works out brilliantly for Navi. It's only one left in the sight. Device, then he does damage, and Flamey finds the kill.
What a fast play here coming from Navi, just throwing away the rulebook, or everyone expects from them on Dust 2 side. Straight down middle, 3 players make it out, and to swarm that side, Device did what he could, but is stuck in the corner. And now just Cajun B, he gets dropped as well to that double orb setup, just doing nothing. It's a perfect read from Navi going into the first gun round, and only dropped 1 kill in the form of C's as well. Like I said, we expect Navi to be very slow, methodical, working the picks, allowing Guardian to have map control, and then they go into an execution just completely different from anything we normally see from them. So that's very wise, actually. So Astralis going to be a little bit rattled by that one. I don't think they expected that whatsoever. They were setting up, calculating themselves with the 2 turrets on either bomb site and trying to challenge Guardian there, but here it is, 4-0 in favour of Navi. They're going to number 5. It's full eco pretty much coming from Astralis, just a couple of upgraded pistols, that's it. And 3 players towards long. It's another fast play coming from Navi. They're actually not messing around whatsoever.
You gotta wonder how much confidence you're gonna have on the Astralis side as we see C's swing through. What good flash actually catches him off. That's an AK available inside a pit. They've got enough cat in the meantime though. So they have got the A site to work with, but you have to wonder how much confidence they'll have with that AWP battle if they start to face Guardian, because he is, so far, every round taking that peak. And speaking of him, he's found Dupree. It's all just too simple at this point. Just standard procedure, as you would say, Henry. Nothing to report.
Indeed. Flamey, after 5 rounds, is currently set on 10-2, so he's one of the few players on the server you really don't want to get that momentum built up and getting in the zone like that. But 5-0 now, double orbs once again for Cajun and Device. Had a bit of a shocker in the first gun round. We'll see what Navi brings to the table this time. If they keep the pace up like this, could get very interesting indeed.
And this, I highly expect, is going to be Device facing. I highly expect that this will be Kerrigan, jump shot, bait Device. Actually goes right by it, so he's going to go straight into B, but I thought that he was going to try and take the fight with Guardian. Either way, fast play from Navi, already getting Zeus out again, but he's actually separated again. The smoke, the flash through it, it works out. Everett gets one through that smoke as well, so it looks great for Zeus. Once more, and suddenly in the open,
surely
there's nowhere for him to run.
That's so
Cajun
nice.
B. Absolutely taken down. There was nowhere to hide, and Guardian can stay in middle all he likes. Nade out. Kerrigan, further damage still on to 20 HP. They have to look to save these weapons.
And Navi is straight up savaging them right now. Fast A splits coming in and just removing them from both parts of their map. There was actually 3 CTs towards long to kick things off, but Edward, so aggressive and confident. The split coming into the side of the AWP is trying to fall back, and he's just stuck in such a horrible position. There it is. They only find the kill into C's once again. He's dropped, and Kerrigan and Device trying to save their weapons.
Guardian's already ready for that.
Of course.
And you have to admire Navi. Normally we talk about Catwalk, how, again, they defined the meta Astralis on it. And people have exploited it and found weaknesses. Instead, Navi's saying, all right, never mind Catwalk. You've got weaknesses there. We'll weaken it over time by making you put more attention onto long. Kerrigan at least gets away with that op so far.
Just about. He did get a leg through the wall, I think. Guardian whipped out the deagle to try and take him out, but here we go. Edward and Zeus coming together from the B tunnels. Flamey holding towards long. They want this kill. They know how much it means to break the economy of Astralis going forward. They have recovered 2 orbs here, the CTs, so valuable pickups regardless, even though they have gone 6-0 down. The thing about Dust 2 as well, it's one of the few maps on T-side where the spawns are really beneficial. If you get a decent long spawn and you can actually smoke off the corner, take the vision away from the CTs and flash a couple of players out, it makes the entry frags really possible there, and it seems like Navi are taking full advantage of that. And such fast rounds coming in here. It's a much different style than what we're used to. But Astralis, with the full loss bonus and salvaging 2 orbs, do have something to work with this round. Cajun being Device back onto them. But Zipex and Cajun actually yet to frag, taking a leaf out of Bardolph's book.
That's never going to get old. Why not? But again, though, they are going to put 2 players out toward long, and they are forcing Astralis to put attention there, which on the onset, if Na'Vi can continue this pace, weakens places like middle, which Xyp9x has to apply attention to here. And Catwalk, which Cajun now rotates back to cover. It's going to be more of a standard default this time from Na'Vi, though, slowing the pace down considerably. Edward just facing off through the smoke at long right now, making sure that dupreeh can't get further ground. And interestingly enough, it is dupreeh that is going to be anchoring that long position. It is normally Kerrigan that's there, so they are electing to run him in the B site.
Well, it's slower around this time from Na'Vi. Going to be going for that catwalk control that we come to expect from them. They are going to obtain it for now, but like you said, dupreeh playing close up towards the long doors.
This is exactly the setup they're known to do. Xyp9x supporting for the drop. Cajun's got car covered. dupreeh anchors. Device doesn't cover mid because Xyp9x in the swing can still make the call, but the smoke has gone down from CT spawn onto middle. So he needs to be careful now. Device has to weigh the decision. Does he stay in the site, not give up the fortified site that is B, or go out to mid and cut them off early?
This is looking like a mid split coming from Na'Vi. You can see the bombing towards the tunnels as well. Zeus sending some utility over towards A, holding Cajun towards that car area. 4 players actually towards the tunnels, so it's be interesting. A lot of teams will smoke off in front of the tunnels, go for the contact play, and see if they can walk in with one flashbang and surprise the CTs waiting for them.
And Xyp9x, with that smoke already gone on CT and not seeing anyone in either position, really has to start to gamble this, but good position from Kerrigan. He's on the offside, it's covered out, it's a good trade, but Device is still in position, and the AWP! Wow. All right, Edward, headshot from him, and inside the site they go. Xyp9x has to cover the cross, he can't do it from that position. And Guardian's already facing down towards CT. This is the timing. You've pointed out something interesting is that dupreeh has got around for the flank, so Zeus on the spiral staircase needs to be a little bit careful, because if he goes down, if dupreeh finds it, they've overlooked it the timing. Oh, that's so unfortunate for dupreeh.
Yeah, that really didn't work in his favor. Now it is a 3-on-2. Xyp9x finds a frag onto Edward, though. This becomes possible. Bomb ticking away. Xyp9x has to step up through the window here.
One kid, it's only on Xyp9x as well, and Guardian's going to be gifted a frag. Inside, Xyp9x goes, he has to make the play, and Guardian just turns around. There it is. Talked about him being lackluster on Inferno, not to be this time, stepping up huge early on.
So just a standard default there from Na'Vi, showed presence towards A, holding the CTs there with some smokes and flashbangs, and then they just do a contact play in towards B. When I say contact play, that basically means when a group of terrorists stay together in a formation and walk into a certain bomb site until they find contact with the enemy team. At that point, you burst into the bomb site, and then you find the frag and try and exchange as efficiently as possible. Kerrigan only found 1 frag. Same story for Device as well. Edward, huge kills onto him with the AK, knocking down that B site, and they actually took down all of the CTs there. So even though they're a maximum loss bonus, $3,400, the CTs are looking at themselves right now, working out how they can approach the next round. I think another pause is coming in. This time it will be tactical, as the current money, it does lie at about 4K average. They need to work out what this is worth buying into. They've been doing double AWP setup so far, which obviously hasn't worked with them. The scoreline's currently 7-0.
Insane. I mean, this is Astralis Dust 2, CT side.
Yeah.
And it's getting picked apart in a way that we've not seen. Again, Na'Vi just playing with speed.
Yeah, mixing it up every time. Sometimes taking the long spawn or going straight down middle.
Yeah,
suicide.
Astralis can't get comfortable. They can't figure it out. By the time they figure out what they did in the last round, there's already something different being thrown at them.
So they're looking like they're going for the quasi buy. That means basically you get the upgraded pistols and body armor. You have partially buy into the round and keep your money around the 2.2k mark. It means with the maximum loss bonus, you go into the next with a full buy available. The pause is going to be running out now, and they're not going to be investing into this one. We'll see what the Na'Vi have got planned. They are dropping an AWP and swapping some things around. But so far, so good for them. Gone perfectly. All the clutch is working in their favor and all the fast spawns. Edwards keeping up in some great form with Flamey joining him as well. He's still on 10 frags, but it's a real team effort so far. Everything seems to be coming together nicely.
I mean, Edward again, can't harp enough on how good he was. Device needs to be one of the players to step up. 15k for Zeus.
This is similar scenes to what we saw at Counterpip. We have these star players throughout the tournament looking fantastic. When it comes down to crunch time, we've got Cajun being 0 for 7, Xyp9x 1 for 7. And this might continue here as we go into round number 8. They're looking a bit shell-shocked right now. Kerrigan will be investing towards the scouts. And the rest of his team, Desert Eagles and P250s. Xyp9x with the 5-7, so you'd assume this is going to go to 8-0. Astralis need to wake up here. They're looking down the barrel of going out on 2 maps in the semi-final here, the major.
Astralis always seem to do that, isn't it? Again, so far into the tournament, and they just can't cross the finish line. Good tag again. Device gets hit through the door by Guardian. So weakened already on this B site.
Indeed. Now, Na'Vi can just afford to slow things down. They can hear the bugles being fired as well. There's no need to commit to any sort of situations here. Play a default, stick together, execute efficiently, shouldn't even be dropping a frag in this scenario. Although there is a tag with the scout on towards Zeus in the B tunnel, so at least that makes things a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, into the grasps of pistol kill. As he goes down to 30 HP. Guardian's been watching mid doors the entire time, catching drift of any rotations. He can keep track of where the CTs are playing. He knows 2 crossed off the start. Definitely saw that, and so far no one else has crossed back over, so he'll have the information. There's still 3 on the A side right now. There's not a stack going on with these pistols. Now it's just a matter of solving it, getting the picks on the way through, and doing it efficiently. It's not like they need money, let's be honest. They've built it up tremendously, but still can't afford to give it away.
We're going to go back to that B contact play once again, and this will work perfectly. We have got Carrigan there with the scout, but he's focused towards middle right now, and Device is actually joining him towards that zone. So C's going to be leading the charge. He's going to go for the entry frag. And to go in, actually, team damage down. Carrigan does hit the headshot. He makes another tag as well. Can he do this? Flamey does take down Dupree. There is a flurry of frags. Exchanges all over the place, but it's Edward once again stepping up 3-on-2, and they've got control of the B site.
Guardian not going to play this straightforward position this time because no need to drop down to rifles, but he just holds doorway. AK picked up on Cajun. Are they fancying this? Look for exits at the best case. That's all they can look to do at this point. Try and damage that economy. There's no way they're going in. They've got no kits. They've got no armor.
Doesn't look like it. They actually might fancy that.
I was going to say, they're starting to face that. Thankfully, that smoke came out when it did.
Yeah, almost their saving grace as they have got the AK-47. Found a couple of frags. It's a bitter pill to swallow when you're 8-0 down to retreat and allow another round to slip by the wayside, but Zipex on very low HP as well. He's going down to 23. The hunt is on for Navi. They want these kills, but Zipex finds the first. Could get 2 out of this, you know. Dancing and weaving behind his double doors. Goes down to 9 HP and still wants to face that. Doesn't give too much away. Only had the 5-7, but as I said, the partial buy from Astralis that round means they have tons of cash going into this one. Can definitely get the double AWP set up once again, but I have to say, it hasn't really been working. Cajun actually yet to get any frags. Yeah, he's found 1 now. He's on 1 for 7. But still, very quiet affair from him.
James Bond turned up. So Guardian again, AWP, no surprise, but Cajun brings his back out. It's not going to be the double op setup this time for Astralis, and Guardian, he's ready for the jump. Tries to go for the flick reaction towards Device, but this time they'll get across cleanly. And it's going to be a 1-1-3 setup from Astralis. Device, the only one directly inside to be early on.
Astralis are very static right now. They're not being assertive. They're not boosting up towards shore, getting you up towards lower B, or even like spotting the lower B tunnels. You see the top teams when they have confidence. That's what you're doing. That's what you need to do in these big rounds. You need to be taking the game towards the tees. You can't sit back and allow a team like Navi, who are in 5th gear right now, to control every single situation. Once again, 4 players in the upper B tunnels. Let us be walking in. They seem to be finding these frags time and time again. It's a big nade from Device. But this time he's only got the AK. Needs to be finding these entry frags, but he can't. Once again, it's flaming. Carrigan finds 1, but he's answered back straight away. It's now a 3-on-3, but heavy advantage in favor of the terrorists.
Tries to spray through, though. Zipex does get 1. Inside of that flash, he picks up a kill on cross. As Flamey's so low on this, though, as the 3-on-3, Zipex is still going to try and look toward the window. It's a little bit late. Molotov's going to go out, so it's going to buy more time. So late Molotov is going to save Navi. So much desperation in this, but Cajun B still finds the shot onto Flamey. That forces Guardian back inside the 2 boxes. He has to cover off both angles, and a good time flash. But Dupree, he can't find it. Now they will. Cajun's got it, and Zipex got the retake. It's perfectly done.
Plenty of time to defuse as well, and finally, Astralis arrive on Dust 2. They're finding the frags. They exchanged equally, and now they made their way into the B bomb sites, but holding strong on the retake, and a very important kill in the B tunnels as well. The AWP found Flamey and allowed them to pinch the bomb site with decent flashbangs and removing Guardian out of that situation. But still a lot to reinvest in this one. Double up setup has been purchased. You can see.
I want to see a face down mid. I want to see them take the fight.
What, you want to see them actually take it towards the terrorists there?
Straight toward Guardian right off the start. Guardian's actually not going to be. Okay, now he is facing it. Looked like he was going to bypass it and go toward long, but
Device fancies it this round. He is towards middle. Maybe he will go for the face here. He knows Guardian may be waiting. He's just going to be holding up towards short for now and falling back towards B. Double up setup back on towards Cajun. We talked about it on the desk. Loves this car position so much. And now more of a classic setup from them, just holding up towards middle, waiting for any aggression to come in from the CTs, but as I mentioned before, no aggression really found whatsoever. Okay, damage done to Device, heavy damage at that, 18 HP.
Has to fall back again. So even when they do try and put pressure on mid, they have to give it up in the end. Nade could have killed Device there, but smartly he gets far enough away. That's Catwalk they're going to approach. Finally, we're going to see if Cajun B's up to the task, if he's still sufficient in that position. Xyp9x is there to support. Late Molotov. Still a minute though. Na'Vi, they're just bleeding them out. And the smoke from Guardian. That'll go toward the site. There should be one on drop as well though, and the first player down should be seized in this position. Gapping it though, but Flash is time. Xyp9x nearly had the position to cover it off. There it is. He's goes in, but he's blinded up. Xyp9x has both! That's the support play that he's known for on Dust 2.
Finally, he arrives. It's going to be a 5-on-3. Occasion with great position. There it is. A shot onto the bomb site. Takes down Flame. It's going to be a 5-on-2. And surely they can have this round. dupreeh taking down Edward. And just Guardian remains.
But Guardian still got a foot in this because he finds one kill. They're going to try and peek this together. Well timed.
Lovely stuff there from Astralis. That's what we needed. The full execution coming in from Na'Vi, and it's Xyp9x with perfect flashbangs from his teammates, gets the double spray down and sets his teammates up to rotate in, and Cajun seals the deal with the AWP. The money not broken for Na'Vi just yet, and we still have the double orb set up for Astralis. So money getting stronger though. You can see dupreeh has 7k and the same for Device.
And that is the classic setup. That's what we talked about, the meta-defining play. But Na'Vi, again, the rounds they've been winning has nothing to do with that. It's been picking them apart long with fast plays early, getting B control. So I'll be interested if this starts to persuade Na'Vi to go back to those tactics and basically render Cajun useless in that position, which then, as you said, goes back to Astralis being more dynamic, more assertive in these positions to find openings.
Well, more of a default so far, so that very fast and aggressive play we saw from Na'Vi in the opening stages of this half that seem to be cancelled now as they're going back to the slower, more methodical play style, allowing Guardian to work the picks and gaining map control piece by piece. This time focusing towards middle. Carrigan's going to be there by himself. Device with the AWP towards that B bomb stage. Actually a much more aggressive than we're used to seeing him, so standing in the middle of the platform looking for that first pick. Not going to have anyone there ready though, as Seas walks out towards middle looking for the next frag here.
Xyp9x is slowly fading off of this now that they've got some stabilization in that mid position, but dupreeh, this will be the first time they go for the full split early. How does Guardian? His movement mechanics are superb. But how does he fancy his chances about going first to find that pick on Cajun? Because right now it's two rifles toward mid. He's the only one on catwalk. A little bunny hop toward car, perhaps, but it would be risky. They are going to try and push this through middle. But a good Molotov back through the smoke's going to cover them off. This is going to be a full split because rather than dropping onto Xyp9x, they want to get the kill, but there it is, dupreeh. He wins the battle at long. It's 2 kills for him. Flame's out. They're going to try and pinch him off. Nearly sprays down both with the transfers. Carrigan goes on to 26. But now they're forced onto catwalk late. 20 seconds to go and the smoke is out. Guardian has the line, but blinded up again.
Finally, round by round, the star players are starting to come out of the woodwork here. This time it's dupreeh. 2 headshots for him, and Xyp9x finds a kill on the Seas as well. 4-1, just Guardian remaining. And Astralis getting some footing finally into this first half. 3 seconds remain. Obviously, the round is over, but Guardian needs to be careful here. He's going to start the timer.
Oh,
there it is.
Huge.
He goes into the next round with no money, but he still has 4k in the bank from previous rounds, but still didn't get anything for that one. Third stage loss bonus now, and it's actually 3 rounds in a row for Astralis.
Yeah, just to clarify for new viewers coming into CSGO this weekend, he doesn't go with no money, he gets no money bonus, so he has whatever he had from before, so still, as you said, he was around 4k.
He's been dropped an orb this round, so they still have enough. This will be the round that breaks them if they were to lose it. Flamey with the Galil, and Guardian back on the orb.
This is interesting. So 3-man jump. He spotted 2 of them for sure, but that was 100% them trying to finally take the fight, and Device has actually pushed him off this. This is where they get assertive. Unfortunately, he didn't stick with that. I would have loved to have seen him down below with someone on catwalk on a rifle, but they're not set for that because Xyp9x and dupreeh are out toward long. Why not? Go for the crazy wall bang.
More of the same here for Astralis and Na'Vi, in fact. So they've gone back to classic Na'Vi playstyle. dupreeh very close and aggressive towards those long doors, fires off shot towards T-spawn, doesn't land any damage just yet. Edward is waiting on the other side. Could have been a kill. There was a couple of centimeters to the left. But round number 12 coming in. Astralis fighting back here. No frags achieved so far, but dupreeh fancies the long doors. This is going to be flashing. It's a perfect flashbang, but Edward just about gets away with his life and leaves with 67 HP.
4 on catwalk again, but Cajun pulled toward dupreeh's position. Needs to be timely here. And now he's back. No one going to try and go out mid this time to cover off Xyp9x. They have to go for the drop play. Carrigan's already come out to the side of B anyway, so that would have been covered, but Cajun's gone down away from this. Xyp9x is going to have to play this from the A ramp. Drop strategy actually becomes effective in this position. dupreeh's faced. And here it is, Zeus ready for the jump, flash over, down he goes. They're going to put 2 inside of CT, but Xyp9x isn't there, not to be found. He just dropped on the ramp. Now they go for the face. Cajun's got to hit the off-angle shot. Does manage it, but he has to fall away, and this slows. Guardian's gonna go for the face jump shot. Cajun hits it. Guardian's gone. Now the bomb's dropped. With 23 seconds, Edward gets 1 kill back, but Cajun is just absolutely perfect in that position.
15 seconds remain, 2-on-2, and they haven't got the bomb here. It's down on the side to Dupree and Cajun. Both poised and ready to take on Seed. The first frag coming in. It's going to be Dupree to take him down. 2-on-1 now. Edward finds Dupree. 5 seconds. All he has to do is stay alive. Shouldn't be time to plant here. He can't do it.
He went for the off instead. He wants to kill. What? Why is Cajun facing that? What in God's name is he doing?
I think he assumed he had the bomb and he was going for the short plum. He wanted to get him on the retreat. He was hiding in the pit. He had no idea what was going on. You can see the look on his face. He's realized what he's done. All he had to do was stay alive, and he didn't know.
Just stay in pit. Even if you give up the plant, you still have a one-on-one. It's a chance that you can still make happen, but you're right. He goes out, goes for the face. Edward was nowhere near it. The bomb was there late. Just 3 seconds when he grabbed it. That's, man, oh man. That's so massive in the context of this, because they were about to break Navi finally for the first time, and now look, it's back to the fast play with the smoke on corner. Dupree's going to get caught toward car. Such an easy position to Molotov and nade out.
I know exactly where he is. He needs the backup from the teammates here. He's not going to arrive in time. Sees takes down Dupree, and it was looking so successful here for Astralis, and now it's falling apart. Zipex trying to rectify things, takes down Zeus, but it's still a 4-on-3 in favor of Navi. They've got tons of time, and we can see Edward holding the flanks. No one can come from shore here, but Zipex is already waiting. Carrigan finds one, quickly eradicated. Now they're going to the 3-on-1, just Zipex to try and close this out. He does take down Flamey and boost his chances here. Edward low HP, but they've still got a minute and full control of the map in terms of where they can go in exit strategies.
And now the money goes the other way.
Indeed.
That's going to hurt. I mean, Cajun's got to get over that, put that behind him, but man, that'll haunt him for a while. A major tournament. Simple mistake. So costly. 1 versus 2 still. Zipex has a chance in this. We're not done just yet. 40 seconds. Zipex is in CT. He's still considering the possibility that they go B, but he might have his back exposed to you. That timing. Yeah. That was close, because C's just got to car. He damn near spotted him, and instead, though, Zipex is going to rotate back around. He still thinks this is B.
Yeah, he's done for now. As soon as that plan is established, they can get the long plan down. Edward can get in the pit with the AWP. They can't do anything about this. That's a platform plan for Siege, so it means Edward can now go towards the platform area on long, and Zipex doesn't really have any footing in this whatsoever. He's hoping it's B, which is not. And now he's got a very long journey all the way to the A-bomb, so it's not even worth going for, I would say. As he is actually thinking that maybe his next move right now. There it is. So, just to go back to that round of Cajun being in the clutch situation, if you think about how that went down, Cajun managed to find 3 amazing frags. It looked like he locked him down, and he actually eradicated what Navi were presenting in terms of that A attack. They had 2 players towards long. Navi had no actual control of the situation, just went for the straight up face. And 3 seconds, and it seems like that's going to lead to a huge deficit here. As the next round comes in, and Cajun B just falls to pieces when he's presented with players in front of him. And there it is, 10 plays 3 now. The comeback was on, but now the money is in tatters. 10 plays 3, and Astralis don't really have much to work with. They are going to be forcing him, Matt. I'd say at this stage, they probably have to do everything they can to get some more rounds on the board. 10-3, not going to be good enough. P90s, Famises. Zipex has got the M4 he's saved from last round. This will be huge if they can pick this up and give them a real chance of fighting back.
Guardian, no tag that time, but once again goes for the face. Fast play for Flamey, same smoke on the corner. And look how much it does. It draws the attention of not only Zipex and Dupree, who goes down in the smoke.
Okay.
But also Cajun B, so Catwalk's wide open. They're going to take this. They're going to walk out. There's going to be the timing.
So
they're going to meet each other, but there's no AWP in position. Edward nearly gets caught with an 8 out, gets the AK back, and suddenly it works out. They get 2 kills, but good response with an 8 on the Cajun.
It was a really good idea for Navi there, but Flamey does find Carrigan. There's going to be a reply straight away. Device with the P90. Should be able to upgrade to an AK now. Bomb is planted, and Guardian finding Dupree. That was a real chance for them. Device, no kit, has got the AK, but like I said, he kind of has no choice, has to go for it. Guardian is not scared to face him, and finishes him off as well. 11 plays 3, and it's looking bleak.
Very, very bleak. And Navi picking Dust too. Again, Thorn kind of touched on it on the desk. It's not like it's a bad map for Navi. It's just so commonly banned against them that we never see them play it. So everyone looks at this and goes, oh, Astralis, Dust too. Like, what are they doing? But
we normally pick on
exactly what they're doing.
We normally pick on Device in these big games and he doesn't show up. But after such a fantastic Inferno performance for him, he's currently sat on 5 for 12. He is playing towards the B-bomb side, which hasn't been a heavy area of contention. He has been rotating a lot, but the star players not really delivering here. They did have 3 rounds of greatness, but we're going to round number 15 now. MP9, CZ to the scouts. You assume this round is going in favor of Navi. Let's see if Astralis have anything left in the tank.
Molotov out, bounced off, covers corner. Device has to shuffle across. He's able to do so with the smoke. And Zeus, though, look at that. Just easily spots that Cajun beat. Out toward the pots on the left side for Zeus's angle. He's going to follow that up, and it's Device that actually gets Flamey instead at middle. So it does come back to a 4 versus 4 and an aggressive stance right now from Astralis. The interesting thing on this is they've got so much information that they're on catwalk due to all of this. Kerrigan's actually doing something very clever right now and trying to pincer them in.
Kerrigan, yeah, pushing the B tunnels. This could be interesting as Dupree is on short as well. If they can coordinate flashbangs here, Kerrigan could be set up for something very powerful indeed. The scout, though, is the worst weapon he could possibly have there. Dupree gets dropped by Zeus. Kerrigan no choice but to fall back, and he's going to find Zipex as well. So this round is over, I'm afraid. 4 on 2. Device with the AK, that's their last lifeline, and it's going to be taken down. Kerrigan now, scout no care, body armor, and a bomb to defuse with 4 players to frag. I'm not believing, my friend.
I don't think there's anything to believe in at this point. 12-3, Na'Vi crushing half. Again, there was a chance of the comeback. It was slowly happening. Nearly broke the economy, and it never happened. All on a one-on-one.
This is what I was touching on in that pre-game section we did. Astralis go through the early stages of the tournament, taking down giants. They took down Fnatic. They looked like godlike mode. And as soon as we get to this, they're the shadow of them former selves.
And it's you look at, obviously in this tournament, look, they've gone out, but in normal tournaments, Fnatic's the one that does the opposite of that. They build into the tournaments. They peak late in tournaments. Side of the championship team, you're dead right. I mean, Astralis, this time and time again, this is sort of where they trail.
They just look stale on the CT side. Like we said, we touched on it a few times. They're not taking the game towards the terrorists. When you're just sitting back and consistently losing the first frags or being ran over by the executions, you need to be like eradicating that and actually facing in, going towards lower B, boosting on short, maybe pushing towards upper tunnels. We see a lot of teams do that. You need that confidence. You need to believe you can find that first frag. If you're up against the rope, someone needs to be pulling the levers to make things happen at the start of the round, but Astralis just very static, I have to say. It seemed like they weren't believing in themselves. Device of a very difficult and quiet game. I did touch on it. He was towards that B side.
That's it right there.
That was the round. That was the crushing round that really ended that half. They didn't bounce back from that at all. You saw the look on Cajun's face, and it was similar to one on the screen right now.
So they have to find a way to get things rolling on their T side.
They need the pistol, that goes without saying. They need it. There's no other way about it. You can't win this without this pistol round.
And they'll use all the time they can, both teams, to talk this over.
We did see an aggressive round from Astralis on the CT pistol, but they got absolutely wrecked. It is quite standard for teams to do that, boosting 2 players up towards short, looking for that bit of intel. Not necessarily find kills, but if you can just see middle is clear and maybe get some nades towards lower B, it gives you a ton of information as to where to reposition the rest of your CT teammates. But like you said, both teams taking full advantage of the 2 minutes they have in between the halves. And here it is then, the pistol round comes in. A lot of tension in the room right now. Everyone's wondering if Astralis can do this. This is the second map of the first semi-final of the day. If Astralis loses this Dust 2, they're out of the tournament, and Navi booked themselves a final.
A second straight final, second straight grand final. And you have to think, considering the field, how it's been picked apart. Yes, okay, Luminosity and them, that's, first off, that would be epic for a final. Yeah. Let's be honest, that is such a good rivalry, but this is the best chance for Navi to finally win a major.
You're absolutely right. So Astralis, 4 sets of armor, a smoke towards middle, and they're actually going pretty aggressive here. Zeus looking to find his first frag. Does spot 4 of them, and he's decided to fall back with a flashbang as well. He should be able to get out of this.
Guardian's going to rotate back over on this early contact, this early information. Zeus falls away from it. Tries to flash it, give vision to Guardian in his favor. Edward's got to go back. There is one player late coming through long, that's Kerrigan, but right now it's all on to Zeus as Edward. He wins that duel, so it's all 4 on catwalk, and Dupree knows the flank's got to be coming soon. He tries to turn it back. This is disaster. 5 plays 2 as Astralis. It's falling apart, but I say that. Zipex finds 2, Device gets 1, and suddenly they're back in the round. They've got the A site. They know where both players are. Dink, though, on to Zipex. He's down to 5. Device has to fight this. 1 versus 2. He's trying to cut back around. Bombs dropped on the site, but he's got the shot. It's going to be pushed. He goes for the reload, and he can't get it. Seeds gets there first.
And he's got a kid as well. That's going to be Diffuse coming in. It looked so promising for Astralis there. Had full control. They had 4 players on catwalk as well, just getting challenged by the P2000 at the crossover. Once the short plant came in, I thought they'd done it, but Navi reacting perfectly. Instead of challenging and trying to take the 1-on-4 situation, they fell back towards long, focus on that area, taking out Carrigan, who was rotating in for that zone. Once they had him, they were able to establish themselves and pincer in on the bomb site, and just a flurry of headshots coming in and locking them down one by one. It did come down to that CT spawn area for Device, but didn't expect that aggression coming in so soon from Seeds, and he capitalizes and 13 plays free. The bomb planted means they get extra cash, $800 each per player on the terrorist side. With the kills they found, it means they can drop a couple of AKs, and a scout comes out as well. They need to win this round, of course, but it is looking promising considering the buys the CTs have. They've got 2 SMGs, that's pretty much all the good news I can give them, but it's all going to come down to Cajun and Dupree. Need to find some frags here and make the AKs work for them.
Flash in, Edward to peek it. Cajun's going to do the same, flashed in toward mid. Zeus is slowly walking in that direction to get closer to the doorway. They've given up mid entirely. They want to just hold the sights with the guns that they have. Astralis, this is so much on the line with these guns bought up. Zeus is behind the smoke. Flash can't push through early and get position, so he's going to go for the nade instead. That does reasonable damage onto Dupree, down to 83. Still looking like this wants to be a mid to be, and that means 3 players will come into the fold immediately for Navi's positioning right now. And not only that, if they get that information, Edward's going to be hot on their heels with a push out long. Dupree's gone. No smoke, it's late. Tries to peek it first, go for the rotation back toward B, but they need to be careful as they get up the ramp. Flash in, this could be a push. They're going to try and get set down. Flamey's in the window though, the timing's off. Zeus goes down. This is perfect from Astralis.
Yeah, really nice play. The B split coming in. Guardian finding one, and Seeds coming to life with the MP9. They needed to make those kills work. Where's the exchange? The bomb's down on the doors.
Good position from Cajun B. He's got Guardian on rotation, but still Seized finds one more, so it's Edward in a 1 versus 2. And they have no idea, but Cajun B's rotating from middle at the right time.
There it is, the AKs. The high-risk maneuver of coming in with the force buy in the second round pays off for Astralis. And you'd assume Navi with this huge bed of rounds don't need to force into this one, but it looks like they will be, of course. Why not? But the reason I say that is when you have so much to play with, and the CT economy famously very hard to control in some circumstances, you don't need to force into this. Of course, you have the potential to reset the terrorist side, but looking at the buy they have right now, 2 scouts and 3 pistols going up against 4 rifles, it's just very unlikely to win the round, and then could potentially cost them a couple of ecos there.
Guardian's tagged at mid, so one of the scout players down already to 36 HP. Kerrigan's going to slow this down and sit at the top of mid. Seized has this pre-aimed. So Kerrigan needs to be a little bit careful as he continues to fire. Thankfully, he's tucked in behind the barrels from that position. We don't quite see it, but they would protect him. But Zeus, look at this. As soon as there's any contact, as soon as there's any information, he's going to go for the peek. He does it on his own. Reasonable damage back in turn against Device. And Zipix gets tagged by that shot, so the early damage on Guardian is negated. It goes back in their favor as Astralis come out worse for wear.
That makes those CZs a lot more lucrative right now. Now the tags have been done. You can see Zipex, Device, and Carrigan, pretty low HP. The full spray, the CZs can mow through low HP players.
Flamey's solo inside this B site right now. He's just calling for Seeds to come back as he does see the nades coming through, but he's going to wait. He's going to go for the late peek. The flash comes in for him. He's got at least damage done it. Dupree down, but response Seized. He fights forward. Bombs drop. Now the scout gets in position in the window. Look how low the HP is. That shoulder peek. He's not going to be able to get the kill. But this is so desperate for little Zippix and Device. 1 in, 1 out. It's Device now left alive on his own. Goes to the scout because he needs to pick up a gun, but look at Edward behind him. He knows. Tech9 rushing, has to get the kill. It's not going to work out. Navi finds themselves on 14, and there goes the force buy potential from Astralis.
Well, that's the full reset I'm talking about. Navi wanting to finish things right here, right now. And that pretty much does it, I think, for this game. Is that round shouldn't be going in their favor. It's just a scout tagging going on at the beginning of the round. Guardian doing so much work, and like I said, the CZs can be so effective in those sort of situations. It's interesting Astralis decided to go towards the B tunnels, the tightest choke point on the map, and so long as well. It gives so many chances for them to find you, and C's doing massive work there, the scout to finish things off. There it is, 14 plays 4 now. Astralis fully up against the ropes, and Edward and Zeus continuing the aggression here. This is what we wanted to see from Astralis, taking the game towards the T's when they're weakened. There is going to be a lot of damage taken though. Edward and Zeus going down low. Edward on 9 HP. And Carrigan looking to find the frag as well.
Edward low enough that goes out toward long. He has to call for support from Zeus, so 1-1-3 setup seized up close to the mid doors. Device and Kerrigan potentially looking for a fast play, potential drop situation with these Tech 9s where they can rush and overwhelm, but if they can find this first pick actually toward mid, this is really good because Guardian's quite far off of this. The problem is they have no smokes. Actually, I take that back. They've got one left on Zipic, so if he uses that towards CT, this could still be viable, but Seized is being patient. The smoke goes down. Good turn as the flash comes in. Zipic gets one, and Cajun finds Flamey. This opens it up. B's wide open.
B is wide open. That's a really nice play from Astralis. Carrying it in CT spawn as well. He's got control of the rotation. Guardian's going to be coming in. I'm not sure if he's suspecting him as well. Shots fired. Carrigan can hear that. He's not going to be facing just yet. They're actually opting to rotate fully through long by the seems of thing. Guardian and Edward meeting up, and are they just going for the save there?
This is just the long game.
Yeah, they want to make sure they keep those rifles. They potentially could have won that.
Smart. That's so smart. I mean, you'd think it's 3 versus 3 and they still have 3 guns versus 2. You'd go for it, but Na'Vi don't care. They've got such a bed of rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. So 14 plays 4 and just wanting to finish things off as quickly as they can. That definitely helps the situation. Carrigan didn't have a weapon, but taking him down does mean rebuys in terms of armor and nades has to come in for him next round. So it just damages the money slightly. But Cajun and Zipex can leave the bomb site easily towards the tunnel area and stay alive with their AKs intact. There it is, another lifeline for Astralis though. I'm not believing just yet, but every round helps.
Every round helps. And those 3 rifles certainly do as well. Edward able to swap to the AK. So Astralis. All right, you can have that 5th round. We'll save our rifles. We'll break you. Go on to map point.
Yep,
send you home in pain.
It definitely would do as well. After the rebuy, you can see Astralis not left with much. $1,400 next round would be another Tech 9 round. So Navi, like you said, going for the long game. And once again, Zeus is going lower B. Aggressive, of course, in the lower B tunnels. Good to find the first score. They have no idea he's there. He gets one. Doesn't get the second. Dupree takes him down.
He's surrounded. He's fully surrounded. Seized and Flamey and pushed in the tunnels behind. So Dupree needs to fight out of this. He knows it now. He hears the shots coming down the stairwell. Flash in, needs to dodge it. No one to push from behind on Catwalk because Dupree has Zipics at least to cover that position and bail him out. And smartly, oh, that's huge. That's bomb from Device. I was going to say smartly Dupree's taking over mid to try and cut to be fast, but this is so big.
That's very foolish from Device, giving the bomb away his position like that. Going for the frag. He could have exited for a T-spawn. He's giving up the tunnels, and now they've lost the bomb in no man's land. And it's up to the Terror to try and reclaim it. You can see Edwards still towards long, which is interesting, but Dupree making his way towards the B side. That's kind of cool. Maybe they can
Flamey's watching it, though.
With this.
It does open up. Zipics has to go with it. Flamey gets him. That's huge because that was the entire flank potential. Good kill from Kerrigan. But watch the timing on Edward right now.
Zipics hears him, I think.
So a man advantage here for Na'Vi. They've got the bomb back. 47 seconds to work with. Kerrigan's got a smoke. There's a Molotov on Zipex. But he's still occupied. He's still trying to find Edward, and in turn he's getting taken down immediately. It's 22 HP, 1 versus 3.
Edwards is the absolute master of those situations. He's got such great awareness. We've seen it time and time again in this tournament, especially on maps like Cobble as well. Knows which angles to help and when people are likely to face. But 3-on-1 now. Carrigan with 22 HP in the bomb and 20 seconds remaining. I don't really think he has any sort of chance going into this.
Well, he needs to try and be intrusive. Find a way to make it conducive, but as you say, no lyric or rhyme, buy more time. It's 12 seconds, and he's actually going to give it up. He still had a nade, but couldn't get in. They had the crossfire set. Edward falls off that, doesn't need to give up the position. They'll keep all 3 guns up, and this is the nightmare situation. Astralis is going to have nothing to play against map point. Na'Vi are 1 round away from a grand final.
Full reset coming in, as I mentioned before. Only thing they've got going for them is saving that AK, but it is 15 plays 5. 10 in a row from the Danish squad to actually take this to overtime. Navi looking very calm. I think they know the situation for Astralis as well. We've got P250 scouts and 1 AK. This is surely it. Round number 21. Navi looking to finish things right here, right now.
And the shot, the face from Guardian. Spots the jump again. What a shot. Reacts and Device goes down. Guardian is so slick, and Cajun beat nades toward him, but he's got into the underpass. Problem is, he's let 2 go by him. Zeus and Edward, they're timing up middle. He's going to be spotted now by Dupree, but they've got so much control, so much information, and they're just tearing them apart. It's down to just Cajun B and Dupree versus 5. Na'Vi are on the cusp of a grand final appearance for the 2nd straight time. Dupree, he's not going to go gentle into this dark night. He'll rage against the dying of the light, but there's not much light to be had. As Cajun as well, going to fall. And I dare say it's over. Na'Vi are in the grand final, the 2nd straight time.